Well, see it or not, there's Ollie way before the real cold weather hits. His team's going to get some work in. Now, this is the Brecksville team. Now, he's quite the boy. The Brecksville team was put together by a group of people here in the Brecksville area, and this coach, Brian, really nice gentleman, Coach Rodriguez, smart guy. Ollie was doing some workouts with him, so Ollie has committed to playing in Guelph, and we're happy to support him, Amy and I, make sure we're at all the games that we can be at, and make the practices that we can make. And the entire thing about any team is commitment, right? Are you committed? And Coach Rodriguez knew that Ollie couldn't commit to playing full time for his team, but wanted to work out with his squad here in Guelph if he could, and a deal was made. You know, if he's welcome to practice with them and play with them, if he doesn't mind playing with them when he's here. So he can have his full commitment in Guelph all summer long, but when he's over here, and has time, if he does, which he will, there are some nights he does, then he was happy to work out and play with this team. So I was proud of him. Good deal. So that's where I am tonight, watching Ollie practice. I had a lot going on today. I didn't think it was going to be a busy day when it started. I knew I had to train Chevron's bypassing the bike. I did. Train her in 2.2, last half 59. She was good. I didn't see any of the getting out of gear, making break. I can see what she's doing. I know exactly what she's doing. When you double her up, and Jason and I talked about this after, when you double her up, she'll get up close to her quarters. So rather than changing her shoes and screwing around with her, I told him, I said, just put some bet wrap on her behind, and then you have to know that in the race. You know, if you're going to double her up, just be aware of what's going on. So what I mean by that is, if you really got to grab her quick, her left or right front is going to come up really close to the opposing inside quarter of the foot. It's called crossfiring. You can grab a shoe, you can make a break, you can hit yourself, you can cut yourself. And that's more than likely where you see those breaks coming from. Now, there is a way to mitigate that somewhat. One, you have to be aware of it when you're driving the horse. And two, you can change some things around shoeing-wise. What I saw today wasn't anything that needed changed right away. So we'll leave it as is and race her Friday at Dayton is the plan for right now. Now, the only issue about Dayton this week is that we retained Drebin today. We'll talk about that in a minute. But it does create a little bit of a wrinkle in the sense that we had 3-point blue chip and brace for landing already entered in Dayton. Is there a spot for Drebin? Not in that class, there's not yet anyway. So how do we change that? How do we fix that? Well, we just need a class, which we're going to look for. Well, as I said, we'll talk about that in a minute. So I trained Chevron's bypass and the race bike. She trained good. I trained Pickpocket, just a slow mile, and he trained very, very good also. He's in to go Thursday at the Meadows, which is all good. It's all fine. Then I went into the barn today also, went with some babies. Was happy with what I saw from them. Did some running around today, got home just in time for the sale to start. Now, I told you guys, just watching the sales, you know, I have people all the time ask me, Anthony, which is better, preferred or online or on gate? They're all the same, right? The people that are buying horses are the same names you see on gate that you see in preferred. Is there more eyeballs on gate? Potentially, but I think there's more than enough on preferred also. And that follows through with what I had said to Scotty today. We were talking about the horses in Corbin. We'll talk about that in a second also. And I had asked him, he asked me, we were talking about the horse. He goes, well, how did the sale go today? I said, I think the phrase for the sale would be fair market. I don't think we got robbed with any of the sales. And I don't think they were leaning or tilted too far towards a seller's price, but they were fair market, right? We started off with Chime Bell. Now, perfect example. We bought Chime Bell in the heart of the end of the summer. It's pretty good. In the end of the summer for $12,400. She's made a little bit of money. We sold her today for $12,000. Even Steven, pretty much. the reason we had to sell her, and that was, I was getting a lot of emails today from people saying, why are we selling these horses? What do they need to be sold for? You have to understand the dynamic. There's nothing wrong with Shine Bell. There's just something wrong with the classes, right? We're not getting in the same. We entered 6 horses the other day, and for the first time I get 2 in at Northfield. So we were forced to go to, Jesus, the arm on that kid. I don't know who that was. I don't think it was Ollie. Just airmailed that ball from center field right to home plate. The thing with Shine Bell, I mean, we entered her at the Meadows and she got obliterated, right? She's not good enough to race in the straight non-winners of 2 but not 4 at the Meadows. It's too tough. And even further, even more to that point, what do I do with her when she does? If she does get out of that class, then what? Better off just to move now. Create a vacancy at some point down the road in one of those middle of the road classes and find a horse that maybe suits it better. Rather than being 7, 10, 12 to 1 at the Meadows, we can be 4 to 5, 2 to 1. So that was the plan with Shine Bell. But again, I couldn't give her away for $7,000. And with 20 minutes left in the sale, she was $6,500. I was a little disappointed, to be honest. And then, again, I hope all you guys understand, too, the sales don't really take off till minutes before they close. 65, 7, 75, 8, 8, 9, 9, whatever, 10, 10. She went for 12. Worked out okay. Next one we tried to sell was Drebin. I was shocked. I'll be honest with everybody. He's worth $45,000. Maybe a little bit more. But not a penny less. He's sound. He's sharp. We just have 3 horses, as I just told you. Brace for Landing. Pickpocket. Don't kid yourself. When they come back, Irresistible Sun. Memory and Imagination. They all need places to race. They do. We can spread some of them around. Right? Maybe somebody can go to Mohawk. Maybe Drebin can go back to Mohawk. I don't know. He doesn't need to go yet, but I think he's a much better horse than when he left. He learned a lot when he was here about racing and probably about himself, actually. The horse is trotting way better now. Got the flip-flops off him. Got him shot away from his knees. He's actually trotting really good. That would have been the horse for somebody to buy, was that guy today. And they didn't. They left him alone. But the way the sale played out, to sell 5 and keep him, I'm okay with that. Next was Lonely Lakewood. I know what he's worth. He's probably worth 18 to 22. But again, the market trends, they're super flat right now. Can't really do in that class at the Meadows, right? I see Jack Rice bottom, so he's going to Buffalo or Batavia. That's the spot for Lonely Lakewood. He will excel in Buffalo or Batavia. He raced good his last start. He's a likable horse. Jack will like Lonely Lakewood. So good luck to him, Jack. Or good luck with him, Jack. A Widespread Panic. That was an easy sale. This horse is just drive me crazy the last month, but perfect example. As somebody said, why don't you buy a lot of Indiana breds? Well, we don't get to go to Indiana that often. I like the program. We don't get to go to India. I don't get to go to Indiana that often. And then when you go to race them somewhere else, look at Widespread Panic. He did pretty good things at the start of the season, and then lo and behold, no class, has to go to Indiana. And I told everybody when I sent him, I don't know if he's ready. And he wasn't. Got down there, was immature, making breaks, had one decent qualifier, made another break, made $0 in 7 weeks. Brought him back here, won his first 2, I think, or 2 out of his first 3. And then, again, can't get in. Took him to Northfield, looked like he was going to do good that first night. Hit himself, made a break going to the half, passed the half into the 5/8 turn. And then the other night, he was just terrible. Sold him. There was no reserve on Widespread Panic, whether it be circumstance or timing or just his overall lunacy. Likeable horse. I could see him taking a very good mark at some point in his life. But just too immature and terrible timing for him right now. Stay Close. It was tough to watch Stay Close go. I love Stay Close. Probably worth a little bit more than 32. We always knew he was probably worth closer to 40. But at the same token, start 30 is coming up for this year, I believe. 30. It's October, almost November. He had 30 last year, 29. He's the exact same amount of starts this year as he had in the entirety of last year. And he did have a few little breaks here and there, but the biggest problem with Stay Close, you can't get him in. You know, those two starts where he run off, you know, and then you found yourself in purgatory up in the non-winners of 12 because the non-winners of 9 didn't fill. Well, there's open horses in there. He was in so tough, I had to take him back. Put him in his next start. Kid's driving him. Green light. Gets parked the whole way. You know, the whole while they're saying, hey, can we put him in the open? No, you can't put him in the open. Nope. He's not an open trotter. That's why he's not going in the open. I can tell you where he can go. It's right on preferred. So I was sad to see Stay Close go. Now you guys are starting to understand it isn't just about having good horses or fast horses. It's about having good classes. Soft classes. Finding the creases in the jurisdiction, right? Northfield. You already know. You guys know what butters are bred. Non-winners of 1 up to non-winners of 7 trot optional claimers. We do great there. Save America will do good in the open as long as they don't keep giving him the 8-hole. One more 8-hole, and I'm just not going to enter him there anymore. I hate that. You know, you win the open, we give you the 8-hole next week. Why? Why do you got to handicap somebody to the worst place on planet Earth in racing? Half-mile track, 8-hole. Just don't take the entry. It used to be at Mohawk. It used to be at Mohawk if you won, 1 or 2 opens, just go somewhere else for a week. And at least give us the option. Hey, if the class is a little soft this week, we're gonna have to handicap you. You know what? I appreciate the phone call. We'll just race him somewhere else. Thanks though. I don't like that in any way. And I know it's only because they're layovers, but 1 start does not make a layover. 2 starts, maybe you can start to make the argument. 3 starts, fine. 8-hole, or just take them somewhere else. But the whole relegated after 1 win to the 8-hole, I'm not a big fan. It's not like it's a special rule for the stable. It's everybody's rule, so it just is what it is. But yeah, I'd like to have an open trotter. We have an open pacer for Northfield. We race him in Dayton sometimes. So open pacer, open trotter, a lot of conditioned trotters, the odd conditioned pacer. Try to stay away from those middle conditions. You guys know I don't like that ladder. I call it ladder racing. Not a big fan. So Stay Close was sold, and then Serious Dragon, I think Mark Weaver might have got ahead of us again. Sold us a horse last year for 40 or 40 something. He gets sore. We had to give him time off, brought him back. He raced okay when he first went over the Meadows. But then just, again, class didn't fill anymore. That 25 claimer now was 12. Didn't fill. Raced him in the straight 25 claimer. Drew the outside. Raced him in the condition race last week. Parked the whole way. Raced good, raced tough, but parked the whole way. What are you going to do? He probably can win the non-winners of 2 or 4,000 or whatever he fits. And then you're going to have to price him. I just don't see him going. I think they'll do good with him, but he's not going to win an open. I don't think, anyway. So that was the sale, in a nutshell. Then we had the racing today. 3 horses in Corbin, and that was the last start for all 3 of them this year. For various reasons, I just saw a message pop up, hey, did the horse make the final? I don't know what horse you're talking about, but regardless, if they made the final, they're not going in the final. I asked Scotty a very simple question. And considering he didn't have a good day, he was pretty, obliging to the conversation. He said Gaslight Hall can't win the final. If he's really good and tighter and healthier, he can get some money, but he can't win, I don't think. This is a tough bunch, Anthony, so there's tough horses. Same with the filly division. Yeah, Yo Tilly or Yo Millie or whatever the hell its name is. Things like $250,000 made this year. She won one of the divisions. I don't think it's beneficial to race those horses against those stake horses. It's tough. Corbin is tough this year, which leads me to my next statement, which would be, we're going to spend the rest of the winter reviewing what took place this year in Oak Grove, in Lexington, in Corbin, and everybody's going to. This isn't us, me, you being ahead of the curve. This is just reactionary. Too many stake divisions in Kentucky. And at some point this summer, every single one of us was left asking the same question. would we have been better off in our home jurisdiction, which is Pennsylvania and Kentucky breds racing in Pennsylvania, Maury racing in New York? Now, of course, setting a world record and getting the recognition is not fair to Maury, but what do we do next year? Do we race in the first 3, 4, 5 divisions in New York, then head to Kentucky? Do we stay in New York? Do we not go to New York? We're going to take in all the data, all the information we had, what they fit, where they're going, how many nominated to it, and then we'll decide. The statement I just made is not something we can answer tonight. Something that's take a little bit of time. So now I'm going to spend the rest of my night looking at Harrisburg, finalizing what we're looking to do. I'm looking at the same board as you. There's not a ton of shares bought up in many of them. Trotting fillies, yes. Trotting colts, not really. And I'll be completely frank with everybody. The Ontario Pacer, I'm just not going to buy one. That's all. I look at the board and I see 43 shares left in Riding the Rodeo. A filly that I think is a really nice filly. Doesn't really make you all giddy about going down there and buying a colt. So I'm sure as we get closer to Harrisburg, and I'll be leaving for Harrisburg next Saturday, Sunday will be our on-site inspections. We'll have our show down there with Curtis, I believe, is the plan. I will tell you this, we are trying to find a commentator. I'm hoping Mike Carter can, but I don't know if he can. Mark McKelvey wanted to, but he is committed to Keeneland. He is a pedigree reader at the Keeneland sale, which is a great job, right up his alley. We're lucky to have him anytime we can get him. But can't get him for Harrisburg. So we're left trying to fill that hole also. So we'll see how everything plays out. It's a Monday. The week is just starting. There's lots to go on. I was happy with the way things went today with the sale, with the training of the horses, watching the babies go on the track. Happy with everything I've seen thus far. It's early in the week. Tuesday, super excited to go over. I got to get up tomorrow at 6:40 in the morning. Got to go to Northfield, train brace for landing early. Then I got to leave Northfield by 7:20 because it's a 2-hour drive to the Meadows, where I'm going to qualify Captain Incredible tomorrow morning. So eager to see what he's going to do, eager to see what happens with him. I know a lot of people saying, well, what's next with him? All of that happens. Everything that's about to happen with Captain Incredible is going to unfold right in front of your eyes, right? There's nothing I can tell you today. I don't know how the qualifiers are going to go tomorrow. I assume they'll go great. Going to have to be a little more conservative with them. I don't want to put them on the run. So we're going to have a little more conservative qualifier with him. He'll need a prep race. Wherever that prep race may be, he'll need one. And then we'll see what the rest of the fall looks like. So the takeaway from today, I didn't touch on it very much, but those 3 Corbin 2-year-olds are done for the season. They're going out to the field. I think Peninsula Farms is where we're going to send all 3 of them. The Dewar family was nice enough to say they could. I saw John Dewar at the Meadowlands on Saturday evening, and he said, when Harrisburg starts, we can take some horses out for you, which is great. Really looking forward to that, getting the horses out, getting them rested up, and then getting them back in. Great conversation, as I always do, with a number of our clients. Joel had messaged me today and said, Anthony, I just don't know if 6 weeks is enough time in the field. Joel's a super good old horseman. And we've left horses out for 3 months, for 2 months, for in between, right? The 10 weeks. I just feel that 6 weeks is the way to go for a healthy horse. Yeah. And it gives us an opportunity to rest them a little bit. I rather liked, and I'm still not sold on being able to race a horse the way that we race. Time is on my side all year. It's a little trickier than it seems. But at the same time, the ability to have them ready a little bit earlier and rest them a tiny bit before the stakes, I'm more apt to lean that direction than to leave them in the field for 10, 12 weeks. It's just not going to happen. So for our horses that are healthy, and I know there's going to be, I love this part of the year because everybody politely gives their 2 cents. I'll have nutritionists message me and say this is what the horses have to be on, and this is the time that they need off. I'll have people that were vets or vet techs, people that were former trainers saying this is what I did and I felt it really worked. I take all that information in. But at the end of the day, I've been down this road a number of times, and I rather like the 6-week program. So that's the plan for going forward. I've been a little slow, dragging it on, right? I've been preoccupied. I got the sale results right there. I got Ollie practicing right here, and just an easy fall night. So I don't get to have those very much. We aren't done yet. We do have Yo Mister racing tonight, so good luck to all my partners in the Yo Mister group racing this evening. I'll be watching for my partners in all over North America, all over the world, with Gymboree, Grand Slam Dio, and Gaslight Hall. Decent year, not the year we wanted, but a decent year. We're going to put them all away unofficially starting tomorrow, officially whenever they get to the field. And then for my partners with Arson, he'll be our lone starter next week in the finals at Corbin. So with that, I'll let you go. I'm going to take a walk over and watch the end of Ollie's baseball practice. I hope you guys are had a wonderful day. Hope you have a great rest of your night. The World Series Game 3 starts tonight also. I'll be tuning in and watch Yo Mister in between. And then tomorrow off to the Meadows, and not a lot of racing tomorrow, for me anyway. I don't know about us. I guess I should have looked at that, shouldn't I, before I started this video. For us tomorrow, we have George of the Jungle. I guess I am racing tomorrow. That's embarrassing. George of the Jungle races tomorrow. He's got to be picked to win, no? He was really good his last start. 2-1. 2-1 morning odds tomorrow, and then Wednesday, Love and Affection. La Dorian is also going to be racing Wednesday. We're going to school a couple of horses off the gate Wednesday. I'll talk to you about those on Wednesday. But for right now, I'm going to head over, watch the rest of this practice. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. Watch the World Series. Watch Yo Mister. Get to bed. I will talk to you all first thing in the morning. Take care.